It all began in the summer of 2010. One guy had an idea to have a reunion of as many musicians from the 60s as they could find and bring them all together on one night just to see what would happen.
And Waylon called me on his way, I think y'all were going to Wyoming or something. Called me coming through town and said, hey, we're going to do this. Find us a place to do it. And I said, okay. And Waylon's got this plan. He wants to have a party and have a bunch of bands play, musicians play, with a jam session or something.
There'd be plenty of people to choose from, because back in the 60s, the Abilene music scene was hopping. Bands sprang up in garages all over town. Everyone wanted to play music by the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, the Beach Boys, Chubby Checker, Chuck Berry, and Creedence Clearwater Revival.
One of the first bands we played in was strictly instrumental. Nobody could sing. Still can't, but we did a lot of ventures, and Dwayne Eddy, and just different stuff like that. That's all we could do.
Well, we just had to yell because we didn't have a PA.
No.
But our amps weren't that loud anyway. You were the only loud one in the band.
Yeah, my job.
The drums.
Bands from Abilene played locally as well as statewide at sock hops, fraternity parties, school functions, grand openings, and neighborhood parties. And as it turned out, members of those bands loved the idea of getting back together and making music again.
Everybody, all the bands were so happy to see each other from the other bands and get back with their old guys, you know.
So Waylon Huey called Charlie Taylor, and the plans started to develop. And with the help of Larry Wellhausen, they picked a place, decided on a time, and started calling their friends.
Well, really, it almost started out as a reunion / private party. I mean, because we basically got word out to our friends, and their friends got word from them, and it kind of went out that way.
They called members of the Chevelle Five, the Living End, the Continentals, the Furies, the Fugitives, the Stepping Stones, Chicken Little and his Fabulous Egg Whites, and Full House. The response was nothing short of amazing. Luckily, there's no need to drive to the big city to get a better price on a new Honda. At Honda of Abilene, they work to get you the best price possible and can't wait to prove it. Imagine driving one of the best-selling cars in America. The new 2019 Honda Accord LX, lease for $239 a month. Or a new Honda Civic LX, lease for only $179 a month. And remember, we need your trade. For other amazing deals, log on to HondaofAbilene.com. That's Honda of Abilene, at the corner of South 14th and the Winners Freeway. Garageband Woodstock is brought to you in part by Honda of Abilene, Benny Keith Food Division, Black Plumbing, K-Texas, Coldwell Banker, First Bank Texas, Benny Keith Beverage, K-Tab and KRBC, Cumulus Radio, Delta Group, Reed Beverage, American Classifieds, Town Square Media, First Financial, Fox TV, Kent Harley-Davidson, Fire and Ice, Wiley Christian Church, Lamar Outdoor, Caroline Colt Company, and by Love Street, the official beer of Garageband Woodstock. And so it began. Saturday night, September 21st, 2010, at the Taylor County Fairgrounds, Garageband Woodstock #1 took place. No one knew what to expect, but they opened the doors and hundreds of people showed up.
One of the bands, I think they had kind of stayed in touch and done a few things, and so they were probably one of the most well-rehearsed bands, but the rest of us just, just see what we can do.
New Orleans.
After Garageband Woodstock 1, people began asking about having another one. So many asked that Waylon, Charlie, and Larry thought, hey, why not? Let's do it again. And plans began for number 2.
It was great. Very good. This is Mrs. Garage right here.
Yeah, I know.
Better than I expected.
It's awesome. Yeah, I came way out of West Texas for this. Yeah, HD right here.
I'll be HD right
The
here.
man right here, he's the #1 drummer in Abilene, Texas. From the famous, he was from the famous
67.
Furies.
This man right here.
Awesome. Yeah. Rocket. Oh, yeah. Yes. Definitely. It was the most fun. Yeah.
Evidently enough people had a good enough time that they said, well, let's do it, and we had a great time. So we said, well, let's do it again, let's see how it works. So we did it again, and it grew, and then all of a sudden we got people calling us, when's the next garage sale? When's the next one? And we would, after each one, we'd say, we gonna do it again? Oh, come on, let's do it again.
The charity thing was, remember we talked about that, how we were going to do this.
It's been, the first 2 years we did it for the rehab center. And about that time we were talking about this and talking amongst ourselves, well, who else might need? And so I read something or heard something that there was funding cutting back, either community-wide or nationwide, for Meals on Wheels. Was losing part of their funds.
Yeah, it was pretty much nationwide.
And we kind of went, well, how about them? And we all agreed that would be a good, viable charity.
show. I was born to be wild. We can fly so high. Give me some love.
This year, Garageband Woodstock number 10 takes place Saturday night, July 27th at the Abilene Convention Center, downtown Abilene.
Walking in these spooky old woods alone. Calling my lover, calling my man, calling my love to do the best I can. Get it poppin' now, get it poppin' again. In the days of my youth, I was told what it means to be a man. I am just a cowboy, lonesome on the train. Lord, I'm just thinking about that certain female. One of us spin around and out of Texas town about that shack outside the Grange. Y'all know what I'm talking about? I just let me know if you wanna go to that home out on the range. Got a nice.
Then, in 2017, a new association began with New Horizons, an organization that helps disadvantaged youth.
New Horizons is a nonprofit agency, 501c3 agency that started in 1971. Our focus really from the beginning has been kids that have come from homes where they've had to been removed because of abuse and neglect. We have two treatment facilities. One is the original campus south of Brownwood called the Ranch. We refer to it as the Ranch. It houses up to 70 boys and girls at any given time. And then the second residential treatment center is here in Abilene. It's Audrey Grace House. We built Audrey Grace House a little over 10 years ago. And both of those campuses are considered residential treatment centers. So kids come there and they stay 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and on average about a year at a time. The best way for people to become involved is to call us, 325-437-1852, or go to our website, www.newhorizonsinc.com. It literally is a life-changing event for many people when they come and see Audrey Grace House or the Ranch, sit with the kids, eat lunch with the kids, maybe even more importantly, sometimes hear the stories from the kids. It's not something I can describe to you, although obviously I have to be in that place to do that sometimes, try to describe who we are and what we're doing, but nothing replaces actually being able to come and meet the kids and see what we do firsthand. Garageband Woodstock is a great example. Is a fairly large event. A lot of people come out because our name is up. They get an interest planted, and often then that they will contact us later and want to know more about our organization. It's not always just the amount of money that's raised for that event as much as it is plugging us into new people who find out a little more about who we are and then become involved through foster parenting or adopting or through volunteering or become more permanent donors of ours that then spread the word. So it's our connection to the community, if you will, because a lot of what we do is very specific to the needs of those kids. The events allow us to get out more in the community and reach more people. My name is Michael Redden, and I am the Executive Director, Chief Executive Officer for New Horizons. We're located here in Abilene. Our focus is kids that are coming from Abilene community and greater communities that are removed from their home because of abuse and neglect. And based on that abuse and neglect, they have severe trauma. And our goal and our focus is to help resolve that trauma with these kids. And we cannot do that without the community being involved. Our plea to the community is to understand that the kids entering the foster care system from their community are their kids. And once they understand that, then it's hard for community members not to be involved. And because we're part of the community, we want to share with you in that response. So please call, help us in taking care of Abilene area children.
This year, Garagegand Woodstock number 10 takes place Saturday night, July 27th at the Abilene Convention Center, downtown Abilene.
I'm gonna catch that train. I'll be sitting down.
Don't you want somebody to love? Don't you need somebody to love?
Luckily, there's no need to drive to the big city to get a better price on a new Honda. At Honda of Abilene, they work to get you the best price possible and can't wait to prove it. Imagine driving one of the best-selling cars in America. The new 2019 Honda Accord LX, lease for $239 a month. Or a new Honda Civic LX, lease for only $179 a month. And remember, we need your trade. For other amazing deals, log on to HondaofAbilene.com. That's Honda of Abilene, at the corner of South 14th and the Winners Freeway. At Honda of Abilene, giving back to the community is becoming a habit. Recently, as part of their title sponsorship of Garageband Woodstock, Honda presented a check to New Horizons in the amount of $25,000. This year will be the 6th year that Honda of Abilene has been the main sponsor of the largest musical event each summer in the Big Country. Scott Anderson, representing New Horizons, gladly accepted this year's donation and thanked Honda of Abilene as well as all of the other sponsors for this year's event. This year, Garageband Woodstock number 10 takes place Saturday night, July 27th at the Abilene Convention Center, downtown Abilene.